Hey everybody, welcome back to yet another fun-filled edition of the House of Plum, your favorite public access TV show. Today I got my buddy Martin back. I don't know what we're going to really do today. That's usually how our story goes, I guess. But we're just been kind of tired. He's been busy writing a book lately and I've been working so much. And this is like my first day off in a long time, so quite happy about that. Yeah. So Marty,
Yeah.
how's your book going?
Oh, over 104 pages
104 pages? That's not bad.
and growing.
And growing. You think you'll be done with it this year?
Don't know.
Don't know.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I work on it a little bit every night, every day, and whenever I get the time, whenever I get a little bit of in my creativity in my head.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm working on a module for the upcoming GriffCon, which is Griffin's 40th anniversary.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come to that. I was planning on it last year, but I don't think I have enough time to get off for that weekend. So
Well,
you can
like I said,
tell me about it though.
If you try to get time off, you've got like at least 2 weeks before it. So
We'll see.
you should be able to. You can try.
Yeah.
But I understand if you can't, you can't.
Well, I took today off, and I took some paid time off for today, so I'm not gonna have a. Well, we'll see what happens. But anyway.
Well, like I said, my game is running the second session on Saturday. Originally, it was going to run on Friday, but there was conflict with Joe's game, and I wanted him. I was hoping he would be in my game, but then it's like, oh Jesus.
Doesn't work out too well.
No, it's like I'm either running during his game, or I'm running during Donna's second session.
Mm-hmm.
So Donna's running a huge 2-session game, and it's like okay, it's a Donna special, so it's like it's gonna be interesting.
And your book is kind of about D&D too, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh, it's not. I
No.
thought it was.
That's the module. My module is D&D.
Oh.
The book I'm writing is kind of a love story with a little bit of kink in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Is it gonna be pretty good? Do you think?
I don't know yet. I want to wait till it's done before I even give any kind of criticism at this point.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like I keep putting things into place, and it's like as long as it continues to the story continues to flow, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I figured I need like another 96 pages before I want to call it done.
What if you think it might when you get done? If you think of anything else to write, you think it might make it longer, or is it gonna just stop?
My initial plan was for 2 books.
2 books.
But I can foresee it going out further, following the patterns of some other books, authors I've read. I just finished a 5-book series called the Slave series.
I've never heard of that.
But it's the entire series is about strong, basically strong women. Basically, the female leads of the story are really strong.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what happened during the story, they come out strong.
Gotcha. Sort of like Amazon?
No.
No, different.
Well, they start out with a girl with a lady named Aya, who's a Norwegian, ending up somewhere. I think it's in a Middle Eastern country called Sperima, but I don't know where the hell that's at. Anyway,
What made you get the idea to do this to begin with, or did you always have an interest in writing, or?
I've tried writing before. In fact, I've got several failed projects sitting in my stories folder, but This one seems to be going further than any other story I've ever written. So if this one works out well, and I can get it to 200 pages, which is my limit, my cutoff limit for the story, and then I'll start the next story, and then the next story, and the next story, providing that they continue to flow.
Right.
If they stop flowing, then it'll be a one-hit wonder. But, like I said, originally I saw it being, two book series with the first book having a girl basically facing a sunset on a beach. All I can see is her bare back with her head with her hair down to her waist and looking over her shoulder. But then the next book is her turned around, with hair covering the important parts.
Yeah, that sounds
But other than
interesting.
that, it's like it's hard to say where things are going to go.
I never thought about writing a book before. It just never really popped in my head.
Well, to be honest, in the story I'm currently writing, the female lead is currently pregnant, and I have a name picked out for the daughter.
That's cool.
But so far, it hasn't gotten to that part yet,
Yeah,
and I'm waiting to see where that goes.
yeah. Well, onwards towards other topics, like nationally, like we weren't really going to talk about politics before, but since this is like a weird debate season, what do you think about what's going on with that?
Well, personally, my opinion of the Republican and Democratic, candidates they're both insane. And
I
I
agree with
and I
that.
wouldn't want either one in office. But
What about that third guy though? I've been hearing
I would
bits and
definitely,
pieces about him too, but
I would definitely vote for him until But again, you don't know what you're going to get until it happens.
yeah,
And at this particular point, Indiana isn't going to make that big of a difference in the overall election because by the time it comes around to Indiana, the votes already been the eyes already been cast in the favor of either the Republican or the Democratic candidate.
yeah. I was reading on one of Gary Johnson, who is the third candidate who's trying to.
The independent.
Yeah. And they were saying they need at least like 15%. I don't know if it was delegates or something in order to get into the debates. And I think they said last time they were very close to getting in. I don't know if they surpassed it or not.
I don't know.
I go to his
They-
Facebook
like I
page
said,
here and there. They had a
like-
convention in New York recently, so I don't know if that pulled the numbers up.
It's hard to say, especially with an independent candidate. It's like unfortunately, the only campaign political campaigns you see on TV right now are for the big two,
Right. Well, that's 'cause-
Hillary or Trump. And personally, if it came down to just Hillary or Trump, my vote would be none of the above.
Yeah, well, fortunately, well, I guess you had the choice of not voting, but I don't know.
Oh, I'd vote, but it's like I'd be putting in none of the above for those guys because those two I do not want to see Hillary in office.
Originally, I thought
don't
Trump would be a good.
Like I said, as far as Hillary goes, yeah, she'd be the first female president. But there's already
That's not always-
but there's already been a Clinton in the office, and we don't need another Clinton in office.
Well, it depends. I don't know.
Not to mention, I think Hillary's too not well enough to live out her first year in the office.
You don't know that for sure, though. I don't know. I'm not prejudging any of them right now. So,
Well, from what I've seen of Hillary, it's like she's either too ill to be to take the office, or she's playing up to this for a sympathy vote.
I don't think that's it either. It's probably just too ill.
Yeah,
And those guys do a lot. So if they are doing a lot of stuff in office and everything, you know, they're
one of the
don't take any time off like somebody here was doing for a while. They're gonna get ill.
well, it's like someone was telling me that they were watching Hillary's speech, and it looked like Hillary had mini strokes on camera. It's like I don't
It's
think
possible.
I don't think Hillary's well enough to even take the office. So why is she even campaigning for office?
Probably because she was the only one left in the Democratic, succeeded. I don't know.
And I don't know about that. She should have never tried to campaign for office if she's that sick.
It's probably a good thing then Gary Johnson started to step up.
But the problem is Gary Johnson may be the quote unquote target of the party.
Right.
So he either won't get enough votes to get the office, and Trump or Hillary would get it.
He started out so late too. So he's trying to get enough people, like you said.
And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but broadcast media will not give him they're supposed to be giving all the candidates equal time.
Right.
But broadcast media only focuses on
the two main ones,
Democrat and Republican. So that's kind of a raw deal for anybody trying to come in. I mean, unless you've already been in office, they won't give you any time at all.
We'll see. I mean,
yeah. Well, like I said, we can hope.
Well, hopefully, he can pull it, and then there'll be like a third option in there, and then we can figure it out.
Well, there will be a third option regardless, but more than likely, considering the way the I hate to say it, the sheep in this country vote, it's either going to be Hillary or Trump, because too many people vote along party lines.
Yeah.
For instance, my uncle Jim will vote Republican regardless. My dad would vote whichever party had a woman.
See, sometimes, I mean, other people tell me that they know people who vote like that too, and that's not always a good thing because.
No, it's not. Yeah,
you don't know.
It's because people refuse to think.
Yeah.
They just want to get it done and over with, and so they don't have to deal with the political campaign for the next year.
I've always voted Democrat, but it's like this year I kind of watched all the parties, and I watched all the conventions and everything, and try to figure out.
Well, like I said, I'm figuring out. When I vote in the upcoming election, I'll vote for the independent because I do not want Hillary. Whichever direction. I do not want Herr Trump in office because he's a bloody fascist and doesn't care one way or the other. He just wants it. He'll have everything running his way and not the way it needs to run for people to make the money they need to make.
Yeah, that's why.
And on top of that, Trump will probably eliminate half the programs that are already in place.
Right.
To support the needy.
Right. I don't know.
But it's like there's too many things that could go wrong with Trump. We know Hillary is Queen Demonica. It's
I don't know.
I mean, and having Billy Bob in there as the first husband, he'll never be introduced as the first husband. He'll always be introduced as Mr. President.
Right.
And all Hillary wants is to be introduced as Mr. and Mrs. President.
Yeah. Well, anyway. I just wanted to touch up on that and think what you thought about the upcoming election, since it seems like it's all been talked about lately. But it just seemed interesting that there was actually the third party trying to come out, and
Well,
I didn't think that was going to
there's
happen.
always the third party trying to come out. Every presidential election, there's always a third party guy wanting in.
I never knew this before, but Abe Lincoln was a third party too. I found that out through Gary Johnson's page. There was like a video describing about it. Then I actually looked up some information, and it's true.
Well,
Ended up being the most famous. But
Well, it depends on your Back then, it was all about your popularity. Now it's how much money you can throw at the media.
pretty much.
And you can throw the person who throws the most money at the media usually wins.
Now, this I don't understand. Like, each candidate was like asking for donations from everybody. What does that do? You know?
Donations, to a political campaign. I don't know.
I don't either.
I never understood. If you
I thought it had something to do with it, like one of them losing or something. Like, that's why I thought maybe Trump started doing it, because I thought he was losing, and it was a way to pay off his campaigns or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. What the contributions go to. I've never been a political insider, so I don't know anything about it.
I don't either. I really don't follow.
But I would presume that, Trump being to have any chance of being a president in the first place, you have to be somewhat rich.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the rich people don't give a rat's about the poor people. They only care about, as the quote goes, the rich get rich, the poor still are poor, and anymore there is no middle class.
Yeah.
You're either rich or you're poor.
Yeah.
And, that's just not cool.
Well, then you gotta find a way to make yourself rich.
Which is one of the reasons I'm writing the book.
Yeah, true.
And
I gotta find something better to do than working 2 Rito's house.
Which is also the reason I'm also trying to write the module for GriffCon.
Yeah.
Because if I can finish that module and be able to get it published through, say, Wizards of the Coast, then more power to me. I'll get some residuals from that.
Right, right.
And if I can publish the book, I'll get residuals from that.
Right. So what else has been going on?
Well,
With me, it's just work lately. And
with me, I'm either reading, writing, or playing a video game. And anymore, I only play 2. I play Diablo 3 for the computer.
I've been trying to play more games. Like, I've been trying to play that Dungeons and Dragons online again, here and there. But I keep getting stuck in this one part in it. It's like you have to go underwater to get a key or something like that, and I can never get out of that stupid thing.
I played that once, and I never could figure out how to play it because it was always set to be a multi-bloody player.
Yeah.
And unless you're being a multiplayer, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If you got a team, you're not going anywhere. It's like, but then it's like I said, the other game I play is StarCraft 2, which I've got all 3 expansions for.
I've been wanting to get that too. I've been thinking about buying that. I see it at work, and another friend of mine told me to get it because he said it was really good. He plays it all the time, and
well, I have my account is currently somewhere in the hundreds as far as level on the thing, because I have all of the 3 factions. They're all in the 30 late, between 37 and 40.
mm-hmm.
So
StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft.
Yeah.
Like I said, for StarCraft, there's the 3 main factions. There's the Zerg, the Terrans and the Protoss.
So what's like the objective to it? You just go around, it's just like a space battle, pretty much.
No, it's kind of it's an RTS, real-time strategy game.
Okay.
And if your strategy is good, you're going to win.
One of those type of games. Okay. I tried some of those. I think I played the first StarCraft back in the day, but.
Oh, I probably still have it somewhere, but I don't know where it's at off the top of my head. But yeah, the StarCraft games were great. They were.
You ever play those Civilization games?
I tried once, but I never seemed to go anywhere with them.
Yeah, I think I attempted it one time too, and.
Yeah, I've played other games where you basically build up your base from primitive to whatever, and then, but unfortunately, usually by the time I get to the point where I'm producing enough stuff to do anything, I'm usually invaded, and then it's like, what's the point?
Right. I played a few of those strategy games here and there, but I never really got into them a whole lot. I'm more like
the first game I ever really got into was an old late '80s game called Reach for the Stars.
I think I've heard of that.
It's like you're rocketing in from another planet, and you land on the planet and start making a colony.
Okay.
And you build up, and between you and another player.
Mm-hmm.
To see who gets so far first, I think is how it worked. I don't remember. It's been forever. I wish I could find a copy of it again and be able to play it, but I don't want to play it when it's like, we have to install a program like Moslo to be able to even play it, because the thing would just
I could just imagine what it takes to make those games, though, too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was always interested in doing as a career.
Unfortunately, all the clones that have been made from that game now to do anything at all, it costs money, and it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. Well, that's how they get you. It's like with all those Facebook games too. They want to keep making you.
Yeah, you have to keep spending money to do anything. It's like.
Yeah.
And I finally.
Some of our game, I played that Family Guy one that you were playing for a while.
I stopped playing because it's like every time you turn around, it's something they change the plot, they change the scenario, and it's like really.
So like kind of like a never ending, and they just kept changing things, and.
Well, it would change every month or every couple of months there'd be some new plot line thing that they throw in there.
Gotcha.
And it's like, I wanted to be able to get certain things, but unfortunately everything in the game had become, uber clam prices, and it's like, really? I can't afford to drop $1,000 just to get one item.
Yeah. They actually want to make you spend that much money? Real money?
Yeah.
$1,000 in the game?
That was their limit of what you could buy at any one time, was like somewhere around $1,000.
Wow. I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, it's like,
Unless I was making like $100,000 a year.
And unfortunately, it's like all the stuff that was in the game that you could buy for their other coin was limited. There was You couldn't buy characters with in-game coin. You had to buy most of the characters with clans. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I spent way too much money on that game. and I'm glad I finally stopped playing, because it after a while it just got boring.
Yeah.
It was the same garbage over and over again. It's like,
sounds like one of those old Atari games that just kept going and going and going, just never really had an ending. So.
With the Facebook games, they usually set up so that they have seasonal events.
Mm-hmm.
But after a certain point, those events get boring, and it's like you can't really do anything because guess what? You need to have more clams or more of some item that you just can't generate without spending clams.
Money, yeah.
Without having to spend real money, and it's like, then what's the point?
Yeah, because you're just basically just dishing out your money for the game. You don't really get anything out of it.
Yeah, you don't get
Except
anything.
the satisfaction of playing it.
You get the satisfaction of being able to play the game further and get more, do more stuff, but at the same time, you basically end up not having the money to do other things.
Yeah.
Because all your money's going into the stupid game. It's like, really? I wanted to have money to go see a movie.
That's kind of why I never got into Facebook games that much before, but
Well,
some of them are kind of fun.
I probably, between all the Facebook games I've ever played, I've probably shelled out close to a good $1,000.
I never spent a penny.
No, that's been over many years.
Oh, I understand that, but I still.
As I said,
never,
I probably shelled out close to $1,000 over the course of multiple games over many years, and it's like, and for what? There was nothing. There's nothing left.
Right.
And the games end up dropping off, and you don't have anything.
Right. Yeah. See. I don't know. I might pitch in some money to play, but right now I just don't have it. And
yeah, I hear you.
I do, but I mean, I guess I do, but it's like I'd rather just use it.
You'd rather use it for something.
Stuff.
Use it for something else.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you really interested in StarCraft, you will definitely want to get all 3 expansions, because the 3rd expansion makes some drastic changes to the system, and it makes it better.
Yeah.
And believe me, the story mode for each race, it's to a point where there's one map that's an absolute pain in the ass. I don't know why they did it, but that's what they did. The AI is set to insane, and it's like, really? No matter what setting you play on, it still comes out insane.
Yeah. I actually kind of missed playing that one game we were playing last year, Through the Sky. That was actually kind of neat, 'cause I never really played a game that way before.
Oh, you mean
Was that D&D game, whatever it was?
it wasn't really D&D. It was
Well, style.
D&D style.
But
It was Sword Coast Legends.
that's it. Yeah.
I still have that. I don't have it installed though.
I do too, but I'm not. I think Steam is still on my computer and everything, but
Well, I
I'd like to
had
try out
reset
some
my
of their other
computer a
games.
while back because I was having too many issues.
I'd like to try out some of their other games.
And all my
eventually.
Steam games got wiped out because that I had installed got wiped out. But I still have the game. I can still install it and do something with it. But there at this point, it's like I have no interest in Steam games.
I don't know. I mean, I've always liked to try out any game just in general, and I've always been fascinated. I played games a lot when I was young.
There's another Steam game that I've got. It's called I don't remember the name of the game now. I think it's called Van Helsing. I've got the first one, but there's 2 others. I'm still waiting.
It's a game now?
Oh, there's been a game
Oh,
for Van Helsing. It's not the same, but it's it's based on something related to Van Helsing.
Didn't Steam... Were they gonna do some sort of a Atari thing on there too, like a collection of old Atari classic games on there? I thought I heard them advertising.
I have no idea. I do not remember.
I thought I haven't been
on Steam. I haven't been on Steam in months, especially.
Well, I haven't either, but I thought I heard something on TV or something where they were talking about that.
I know that Windows 10 was supposed to have an update here recently that would allow you to play Xbox One games via your computer.
Speaking of Xbox One, did you hear about the new one coming out? The Xbox One S?
that is going to be a failure. Because
Even the name sounds almost like a failure.
because they're monkeying around with an internal power supply again, and
Really?
every time they do that, the system has issues.
Man, back in the day, I used to.
Basically, instead of having the long cord with the brick on it, you plug the power cord right into the back of the machine, and that's it.
Yeah. Back in the day, I used
Basically, like a computer. You basically the computer power cord. You plug in the back of the machine, and done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like every time they do that with the console games, they usually they usually have heat issues that cause the system to fail, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Are there any new type of games coming out at the end of the year you're interested in, like around Christmas time?
I don't know. I haven't really seen anything that I'm really interested in.
I haven't really either.
I mean, Sword Coast Legends kind of died because of the company that produced it just, said, whatever,
There is a new.
and folded up their doors because they screwed up Sword Coast Legends so badly. They said, because the people that wanted it were hoping it was going to be more of a D&D style game, but it's a complete ripoff of D&D.
Yeah.
There's no customization of the characters. Not really, anyway.
Not like it should be.
Not like it should be. It's not. It follows none of the D&D character generation rules. It follows absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And we were wanting a D&D, the actual D&D game, not a D&D ripoff.
Right. Yeah, but maybe they didn't realize that when they made it.
Well, they knew what they were doing when they made it. They didn't.
So.
They just didn't think.
Yeah. I used to play a lot of the football games on the game consoles. I don't know if you ever play those that much.
I've never been into the sports games. I've been more into the RPGs.
I have a little bit here and there. I kind of would like to try out that new Madden 17 that came out this year, but I don't have an up-to-date system to play it unless I find it for the PC somewhere. But I think they actually stopped making Madden for the PC a number of years ago.
They may have. Basically, what you'd have to do is you'd have to get a hold of an Xbox, either an Xbox or a PlayStation, to be able to play it.
I'll probably end up getting a PS4, I think.
PS4. Unfortunately, PS4 has the one that had the most issues with being hacked.
Wasn't that more their store though, the PlayStation Store? I thought.
No, the system, the online portion of the system got hacked, and it's usually gets hacked, and people's private information has been leaked, and it's just a mess. I'm not sure if Xbox One that's happened to Xbox One.
I haven't heard anything about that with that. But
Well, I've heard enough about it. It's like,
I knew with Sony, yeah. I mean, I've heard of the hacks and stuff like that, but I didn't really think it had anything to do with like the system. So I thought it was just more the online part of it.
well,
But I guess
unfortunately, I think most game consoles now,
mostly online.
almost everything's online now.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're constantly online, you're open to be hacked.
Yeah.
Which is why I really don't understand why StarCraft 2 and Diablo 3 had to be online only, because that leaves you open to being hacked.
Oh, it is? StarCraft 2 is that way?
Yeah, it's online. If you want to play multiplayer, you have to be online.
Yeah, that's kind
But I think the game itself is online. So you have to log in through Blizzard server to get into it, and then it's like, okay.
I think it's one of the reasons why I don't really play anymore, because that's how it is half the time.
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, that's the way modern games are, because they're trying to prevent people from cheating.
I think a lot of it has to do with like copying
Well,
games too.
Well, for games like Diablo, they don't want people, walking in with hacked gear
Yeah,
and to be able to walk up to the end boss at level 1 and be able to just go, you're dead.
yeah.
But
The good old days of being able to do that.
and unfortunately, it used to be the computer that you could be able to do that with, but now it's the actual with Diablo 3, it's the console that you can do that with. But you have to know somebody that already has the hacked gear to be able to do it.
Yeah. I remember even back in the old Commodore days, they were hacked games, and
There's always been
Yeah.
hacked games.
over the years.
That's that's you go into a game, for like instance, you go into like World of Warcraft or games like that as a noob, and all the people around you have uber powerful hacked gear. It's like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of those were more fun to play with and everything.
Well,
But
I used to play World of Warcraft pretty regularly. But ever since I started playing, having to pay X amount of extra bills, I just don't have the extra money for it.
yeah.
I don't have the money to play, and it's like,
I miss the old days when you used to just go out and buy the game and then just sit and play it without worrying how to put any money into it.
Yeah.
And you were just good to go with that.
Well, unfortunately, I think the classic MMO pattern is that, which is what Blizzard is doing with World of Warcraft, is you pay to play, which is you're paying for game server time on their game, and unless you're playing religiously every day for like a month, you're never going to get anywhere.
Right.
Because the game is so expansive, and it's like the gear is outrageous.
Yeah. I never really
And
played
you have to have the Uber gear in order to do anything.
Yeah.
You have to have the right gear scores to go into the dungeons. It's like, really?
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why I stuck with the sports games too.
I'm also Joe's back playing it again. He says that they've cleaned it up nicely so that people like me and him could go in and just play and not have to worry about all the crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why one of my friends, he doesn't like electronic games that much. But I don't think
like I said, my big thing is that if I can get I've got two Diablo 3 characters that I need to finish off, get them completely done up to 70th level, and then I can just go back and play the one character that I really enjoyed playing, because I was trying to get an achievement for having two of every character up to a certain level. And it's like, okay, I can do that. So I'm like 2 characters short of that goal, and I just want to go back and finish that off. But it's like I also want to finish my book. I want to finish the module. So I've got like 3 different projects going on at the same bloody time, and it's like,
at least you got the time for it. If I wanted to do anything, I don't know where I'd find the time with all the working I've been doing.
Well, you'd have to find time.
Yeah, I know.
Basically, on your days off, you just, when you're not working, you get on and you play for an hour or so, and see how far you can go.
Well, my main project right now is this show and trying to get the YouTube channel hit off. But that's not going so well either. Well, it's all right. But I see other YouTube channels like go up, and like 6 months later they have like millions of views on their videos and stuff like that.
Well, I think our big problem is that we're not writing skits. We need to start writing skits.
I think the biggest problem is advertising too. But
What we have to do first. We have to start writing good skits. Actually, do them, and then get the advertising, because you have to have a product to actually advertise.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't have.
I got the show to advertise.
All we have right now is just basically the name of a show.
What's wrong?
And
with that?
we don't really have any kind of real. We're not doing any kind of any comedic, things.
Well, we tried, but in the beginning,
Well,
it just
yeah.
didn't kind of really work out all that well.
Well, like I said, and one of the things I'd love to do on screen here at least once is do it would be a live D&D game.
Talk about it over a year, it just hasn't happened yet.
Because we just don't have the people.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to find the people that want to come and play and be involved in our live action D&D game, which like I said, I've already got the first level of the dungeon ready to go. All I have to do is have the people to play.
Yeah.
Like I said, the tomb of some dumb guy lives.
Yeah, it's hard to get groups together a lot. Even for the show, it's like...
Yeah, I've tried, leaving a flyer at the Griffin. I've tried putting a notice on, Friends of the Griffin. But so far, I've only had, one or two people even want to come to my table. The one guy is currently off dealing with work issues, last I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've been grateful for all the people who have come here, but it's like when you try and get new, it's like...
when you try to get new people, it's always, it gets harder.
It does.
I think the problem is that we're not that famous.
Yeah,
No matter how well we promote ourselves, we're just not that good yet.
it's still fun to do. I think I enjoy doing this whenever we get here.
Oh yeah, it can be fun, but yeah, at the same time, we're having that issue of.
I know, we keep talking
we need
about it.
more people.
We don't sit down and... We gotta start writing skits, probably.
Yeah, we got to start writing skits and get good at writing skits, and then we can get
Maybe we can do a live D&D session and we'll be the characters of the dressed up in costumes and...
that. Unfortunately, my friend, that requires money, and a lot of it, because those costumes do not come cheap.
Find a way.
Even if you make your own, they do not come cheap.
Life will find a way. That'd be interesting.
Like I said,
So,
unfortunately, you would be we need at least one more player,
uh-huh.
one more person to be able to do that. One person to dress up as the monster, and you be the hero or the monster, and you could be the monster or the hero, and
Yeah.
then I'd be the DM going, and here you go, roll for initiative.
Yeah.
And then have you guys do like,
I forget what it was for, but I think Josh wanted to do some type of costume thing too. And we never got around to it. After the first year, he just...
well, unfortunately, he's working, like
I know.
like a crazy man.
Yeah.
Like I said, it'd be cool to have costumes. I wish we had I wish we had a budget that we could actually just go plunk down X amount of money for costumes and kind of like the live action D&D shows through PAX. I have no idea what that stands for, but it's
Josh wanted to set up a GoFundMe account. I don't want to ask people for donations. I'd rather come up with our own money.
Well, GoFundMe is a good idea.
I'd rather try doing like we're doing with the YouTube, and if we can get enough hits and traffic.
But again, at the same time, the point is GoFundMe is there to actually give you kind of like doing bake sales.
I know. I just don't like asking people for money.
It's basically.
I know a lot of people do it.
But before we could even start doing anything like that, we'd have to either set ourselves up as a with a not-for-profit or a for-profit license, which we don't have right now. We don't have any of that, and we need to have a tax code so that we can, when it comes time to the end of the year, we just go, this is what we spent, this is what we took in, this is what we spent, and here's what's left over.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I think it would be a cool idea, no matter what it would be, but if we could get like a costume thing going on. I don't know, and kind of act goofy like we did on the other show. But that's why I wish Adam could have came on once in a while, because I think he would have made the show pretty good and funny.
Well, yeah, he would have.
But he would always have.
But it's like, if we had like a box of props, we could do like
He did, but they were always kind of
we
weird.
we could do the props kind of like on whose line is it? Whose line is it? It's like that would be funny.
Yeah.
But we'd have to have a third member of our troupe, because somebody have to be the guy do like skits from a hat, scenes from a hat, or here's the props, do what you can do with it, kind of thing. But it's like, again, we need more people in order to get this off the ground properly. Just you and me ain't gonna cut it. All we're gonna do is sit here and talk or play games.
Not always. It's just
No.
it's just the only thing that's been coming up, to do.
I said, between with just you and me, it's mostly been either we sit here and play games for an hour, or we sit here
That
and
was fun.
or just sit here and talk bullshit for an hour. It's like it's always funny,
Yeah.
but it's like it's not moving the show in the right direction.
But it's still fun to do. But that's what Josh and I were originally trying to do in the first year. I mean, we were trying to
do the skits and
that's why he got the live music and everything, and
well,
he got most of it.
That's something else we could use, live music.
But I think the problem with that is that I think people want to get paid if they come on. So
Yeah.
all right.
You want to call it?
Yeah, we can get close to calling it soon. Any shout outs or anything like that before we do, or
Nope.
what are you going to be doing the rest of the day? Just writing your book?
Well, you and I are hanging out for a while
Oh, we are.
today. Because it's your
That's right, because you're buying me a drink, weren't you?
it's your birthday.
Thank you.
And then I'm not sure.
And you're not sure?
Yeah, I'm either going to go back to writing my book, or I'm either going to go back to reading the story I just started reading, which I'm already probably close to halfway through, because I'm a ravenous reader.
Yeah.
I've read multiple series at this point, and some series I've liked and been able to read all the way through them. And there was this one book that the story just didn't pop for me. It's like I would visualize little bits here and there, but it's like I couldn't visualize this. It fell apart.
Yeah.
For me, so it's like
Well,
it was it was too dry and too analytical.
yeah. I'm sure.
Like I said, I just finished. It's called the Slave series, which is about basically four or five women. There was Aya, Sabina, Uma, Sophia, and then Jenya or something like that, or Jessica or something like that.
That's cool.
Was the last one for the last book, and it's like they were all really strong women,
Yeah.
which I don't mind.
Well, I hate to break it, but you don't want to give your whole details right away, so we're going to go ahead and call the show.
No, that was the story I was reading.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your book.
No, that's not my book. That was somebody else's. That's somebody else's work.
Oh. Well, anyway, I do want to thank you for coming on today. I know you'll be on again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And we're going to call it for the 18th episode of the House of Plum. And it is my birthday today, and I'm happy to be here on my birthday. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and y'all have a great day. Thank you.